Good afternoon. Here is the midday news on OGBC. I'm Debo, Adeyinka. First, the major items. Federal government is developing framework for safety of cosmetic products. Just as it strengthens collaboration between federal and state civil servants through digitalization, South Korea's anti-corruption agency has recommended charges against President Yoon. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isaac Salako, has decried the increasing use of skin lightening products among Nigerians. Dr. Salako, speaking on Wednesday, said despite the well-documented harmful effect, the use of skin bleaching products like creams, ointments, soaps, pills, and injections is common among non-white populations throughout the world. He stated that bleaching product is particularly spread among women, informing that Nigeria is in the process of developing a comprehensive framework for ensuring the safety and quality of cosmetics. Agriculture plays a vital role in addressing economic challenges as it boosts potentials for national growth and development. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Marcus Ogumbiyi, stated this in Abuja at a workshop. He said the ministry declared Operation Empty the Store, which will involve the massive distribution of stored agricultural equipment and inputs to farmers across the country. Dr. Ogumbiyi explained that the move is aimed at ensuring that tools and resources stocked by the ministry are utilized effectively to boost food production. As part of measures put in place to achieve its renewed the public service through digital transformation and strengthening collaboration with the federal and state civil service. The head of service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Walsey Jack, who is leading 20 heads of service on a landmark study tour to Singapore, made this known. She noted that the tour, which is supported by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, is aimed at exploring Singapore's globally acclaimed public service model. Mrs. Walsey Jack added that the strategies in Singapore will be adopted to enhance efficiency and accountability in Nigeria's civil service. In a remark, Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Kendi Onosaya, said the insight gained by the tour aligned with the vision of Governor Dr. Abiodun on capacity building for digitized and innovative reforms in the state. The Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, has been described as a group of deregistered political parties by the nation's Electoral Commission, INEC, due to inactivity, lack of public support, and failure to meet electoral requirements. The publicity secretary of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, in Ogun State, Comrade Tunde Oladunjoye, made this known in a he noted that CUPP's comment about Governor Dr. Abiodun and senior officials of government lack substance and appear to be driven by personal motives rather than genuine political concerns. Comrade Oladunjoye said the current administration is committed to impactful projects and initiatives that will benefit the people of the state. Meanwhile, the Independent National Commission has called for the amendment of the law for a more cost-effective alternative methods of filling vacancies at the national and state assemblies. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made the call in Abuja on Wednesday. He urged stakeholders to prevail on the National Assembly to amend the law for a more cost-effective alternative as it was being practiced in many jurisdictions around the world. Professor Yakubu said INEC has been appealing to stakeholders, including political parties, to join the advocacy and for the National Assembly to amend the laws accordingly. You're listening to the midday news on OGBC 90.5 FM. South Korea's anti-corruption agency has recommended that President Yoon Suk-yeol be charged with insurrection and power, following a probe into the impeached leader's short-lived martial law declaration. This Thursday, the Corruption Investigation Office for High-Ranking Officials (CIO) said it requested prosecutors to file the charges after finding that Mr. Yoon had suspended civil rule with intent to exclude state authorities and disrupt the constitutional. Following the CIO's transfer of the case, the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office will have 11 days to decide whether to charge Mr. Yoon and send him to trial. Mr. Yoon, having been suspended from his duties since a December the 14th impeachment vote by the National Assembly, was arrested at his residence in Seoul last week after refusing repeated summons to appear for questioning. The arrest marked the first time in South Korean history that a sitting president was taken into custody. In the same vein, a judge in Spain was put under investigation on Wednesday after a video emerged of him aggressively questioning a woman who had accused a high-profile former lawmaker of sexual assault. Spain's legal watchdog, the General Council of the Judiciary (CGPJ), said in a statement that it had opened the internal investigation into the judge after receiving over 900 complaints against him. The judge, Mr. Adolfo Carreto, has come under the fire since a video of his questioning of actress and television presenter Elisa Moner as part of his probe into the sexual assault allegations leaked to many Spanish media outlets on Monday. A new fast-moving wildfire has erupted in Los Angeles, prompting tens of thousands to evacuate a region already reeling from the most destructive fire in its history. The Hills Fire ignited about 45 miles northwest of the city of Los Angeles on Wednesday near Koski's Lake in mountainous area that borders many residential areas and schools. The blaze grew to more than 9,200 acres in several hours on Wednesday, fueled by winds and dry bush. No homes or businesses have been damaged, and fire officials expressed confidence about getting the blaze under control. The new fire is located north of the two mammoth blazes, which are still burning, that destroyed multiple neighborhoods in Los Angeles area earlier this month. South Sudan on Wednesday ordered internet providers to block social media platforms, including Facebook and TikTok, following violent protests over the death of its citizens last week. Demonstrations erupted in the capital, Juba, last week over reports that clashes in neighboring Sudan had killed 29 South Sudanese, but turned violent with people looting Sudanese. Anger spread across the impoverished nation, with officers opening fire to disperse crowds and later detained hundreds of looters. In a letter addressed to the country's internet providers, the National Communications Authority (AJCA) Director General ordered them to block access to all social media accounts, effective from midnight on Tuesday for a maximum of 90 days. The NCA Director General Napoleon Adeyinka said the decision came after the recent upheaval in Sudan, which has exposed the South Sudanese population to unprecedented level of extreme violence through social media press. On sport, Real Madrid have become the first football club to generate more than €1 billion in annual revenue. The Spanish club retained top spot in Deloitte's Money League study with revenue of €1.05 billion from the 2023-2024 season, in which they won La Liga and the Champions League. Manchester City are again second with revenue of £708 million. They won an unprecedented fourth consecutive Premier League title, the Club World Cup and European Super Cup last season. The development of the country requires concerted effort. Play your own part. To end the midday news, another look at the major items. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, while condemning the increasing rate of the use of skin lightening products, said measures were on the way to ensure safety and quality of cosmetic products in circulation. The head of service of the Federation, Mrs. Ndidi Wasenja, who is leading 20 heads of service in the to Singapore, said the tour was part of the federal government's effort to strengthen relationship between the federal and state civil service. We also heard that South Korea's anti-corruption team this Thursday recommended that President Yoon Suk-yeol should be charged with insurrection and abusing his impeachment. The midday news was edited by Tony Oyelumade and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at openradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Open Radio Abeokuta and on X 905 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Garden.